It was the day we broke up that I went to the toilet and it was just blood. Oh yeah, oh gosh, there was so much I learned. It actually changed my whole belief system, just changed about how your body, how all these symptoms are a good thing. I think that was the biggest thing. And I do that with everything. When I get a headache or anything now, I'm like, okay, this is actually a good thing because it's my body actually clearing out something that's out of balance right now. I had a lot of gratitude. It shifted my brain from being a victim to why is this happening to me, to, oh my gosh, thank you so much, body. Every so often, no, like I'll have a cheat day, like I'll have something, or not cheat day, a cheat meal here and there. And I'm absolutely fine now, so it doesn't even affect me. All you need to do is just trust and it will happen for you. And just believe. I think that's my biggest one as well. As soon as you believe in yourself and you know, like there's no doubt about it that you're going to be sitting here soon doing a testimonial and you've got no doubt about that happening, just keep that because it will. It's law of attraction. You believe it, it will happen.
Give this video a thumbs up if you know what it's like to live with IBD, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. This channel is designed to help people recover from colitis, Crohn's, and any other form of IBD. You can always head to our website, highcarbhealth.com, for a free 30-minute consultation from anywhere in the world. And remember, there is a life after colitis. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of IBD Heal, a podcast brought to you by High Carb Health. I'm your host, Shakul. And today we have a testimonial from Pia. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
So Pia has healed herself from ulcerative colitis and has worked with us. I think it was last year you were working with us. So it's been a little while since you've been feeling better.
Yeah.
But has gone through an amazing transformation, like life transformation, not only a health transformation. And we're really looking forward to sharing that with you. So I want Pia just to talk a little bit about what she's been doing with her own coaching, because she's taken a whole lot of things on board and decided to help other people, which is so awesome. Yeah.
Well, I feel like when I started working with Shakul, huge shifts happened for me. So when I did that detox, it wasn't just my body detoxing, it was my mind, it was my emotional health, just everything put me on a whole new path. Which is really exciting because I'm now working as a hypnotherapist and an energy healer, and all sorts of magical things happen. And I know very much it is because of the work I did with Shakul and my body just being so, I guess, energetic or crystalline to be able to do all sorts of cool things now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. And if you want to go and check out some of the work that Pia's been doing, her business is called Pia May Healing, and I'll put all the links down below. And if you really want to work on, shifting your energy and mindsets and things like that, it's really worth checking her out because she's been through an amazing thing, which we're going to find out now. So let's talk about where this all started for you and how you found out you had ulcerative colitis and etc.
Yeah, well, I was in a relationship, and it was quite a toxic relationship, and I was always fine before that relationship. And then over the time period of being with that partner, I just noticed I started having digestion issues. And I think the more emotionally upset I was getting, the more my body, I could feel it in my body, becoming more and more unwell. And then it was interesting. It was the day we broke up that I went to the toilet and it was just blood. Like, it was just the most intense experience I've ever had. I was just so upset. I'd never been that upset emotionally. But then to go to the bathroom and just have so much blood just coming out of me, it was really awful. And so then I went to the doctors and I hopped on the medications. It was good. The medication started working straight away. They put me on the lowest kind of one. And I thought that was just kind of my life from then on. I'd take this one pill and within 2 days, just my whole body went back to feeling great. And so I was fine for about 2 years and started feeling better. But then, of course, as is with, it seems to be most of the stories here, the medications stopped working, and I found out that the next thing I had to start taking was steroids, and I really didn't want to take steroids. I was like, no. So I was putting it off, and I kept putting it off, these steroids, but I was getting sicker and sicker, and I was trying to find an answer, and then I ended up listening to a podcast by a girl, and I forgot her name, but it was a plant-based podcast, and it just came up. I think I'd Googled how to heal ulcerative colitis naturally. This podcast came up, and she, this girl was a Melbourne girl, and she had healed it, and her story was it just felt like it was me talking. I was just crying as I was listening to it, hearing her story of being so unwell and actually healing it. So that gave me a little glimmer of hope. And she had worked with you. So I was like, who are these people? So I went off searching, and I found you and started
the program.
Started the program.
Well, you tried to do it by yourself for a little bit.
I tried to. Okay. So I started watching all of the videos. I became fanatical, watching everything I could. And I thought that I could do it by myself. But it got to a stage where the detox, I was probably halfway through the detox period, and it was just so intense. Like, I was just getting so many awful symptoms, and I was and of course I was already small before I began, but then I lost 10 kilos, so I was just getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's so scary actually doing it by yourself, and trying to give yourself the pep talk, like, you need someone there being like, I know you're getting sicker, but this is all perfect. Like, you actually need that person there being like, this is fine. It's your body getting rid of all that toxic stuff so it can rebuild itself again. But even though in some ways I knew that because I'd watched their videos, I actually needed someone there actually supporting me to get through it. So
you need to know where the line is, right? You need to know where the line is that you go, okay, this is okay, and I can carry on, or this is not okay and I need to get some external help. And, you know, if you're doing it for yourself for the first time, how are you going to know where that line is? You know, so that's where the support, I think, is really valuable, is kind of taking you through that process and understanding, okay, yes, you're very low in weight, but this is where your symptoms are, and this is what your blood tests are telling us. And so, yes, you can carry on, or no, you know, you need to get some assistance. So.
In some ways, when you're getting that sick, it's almost dangerous not getting the support. I think I think it would have been quite dangerous me continuing on going to the bathroom 20 times a day, and losing more and more weight, and not have someone that actually is really, really educated in all, like, no one could be more educated than you, I feel like, in all of this. You know, like, all of your research and just everything there. You need that. You can't do it by yourself.
So everyone who watches this, or a lot of people that watch this, are really interested in knowing what people's symptoms were like and what they were going through. So can we talk about, you know, before you started to go through the healing journey, what the symptoms are like, and even as you shifted, what the detox process felt like for you?
So the symptoms in the beginning, it was just when I was in that relationship, it was just bloating. So it would, my stomach would expand. I remember one time I went and got a chicken parmesan, and I loved my chicken parmesanas at the time. We went off for Parma night and we got it, and of course it's a giant piece of fried chicken with ham, and then all this melted cheese, and then a huge plate of deep fried chips. And I remember just going back and just lying in a fetal position, just in agonizing pain, like, what is going on? And my stomach was so bloated. And then in the night as well, I was getting up in the bathroom and just going to the bathroom, and it's just gas and just nothing, like nothing was coming out. And it was just, it was just starting to, all these little, it was nothing. It felt like it was nothing so bad. I was in denial, I think. I'm like, I'm fine, it will go away soon. But it just progressively started getting worse and worse and worse, until again that day we broke up, and it was just so much blood. And It was interesting, though, the detox period. So then I had just odd symptoms here and there when I was taking those low-level medications. The detox symptoms were far worse, I feel like, than anything I experienced before. I was lucky. I never got pain. It was, the detox period was humiliating because I couldn't... I couldn't leave the house. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go just for a 15-minute dog walk. And as soon as I would leave, my brain would be like, no, you're going to poop yourself. And I'm like, no, don't, please don't. So that was, awful. That was, one of the worst symptoms I could have ever imagined. I know a lot of people have that before detox, but I never experienced anything like that. What else? It was just a lot of rumbling, actually. The rumbling really started where it was just so noisy, and it was like, I don't know what was going on inside my stomach. It was like a party happening in there of just such loud motion. So sometimes I'd be up all night from just kind of hearing this rumbling. Like my colon was just so, it felt like it was so angry. Yeah. So they were, I think, my main symptoms.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, before we go into like how you felt as you started the program and everything, how did you find the overall program? Like, because we have a big education piece that you get when we start off, and there's a whole lot of learning that happens before we actually start to go into the practicalities. Can you talk about what you learned as you went through the information packs and just as you were getting started?
Oh yeah, oh gosh, there's so much I learned. It actually changed my whole belief system. Just changed about how your body, how all these symptoms are a good thing. I think that was the biggest thing, and I do that with everything. When I get a headache or anything now, I'm like, okay, this is actually a good thing because it's my body actually clearing out something that's out of balance right now.
Yep.
So whenever I get symptoms now, I'm like, okay, it's not too bad. Like, I don't get colitis symptoms anymore, but symptoms with anything, I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually a good thing. I learned that, my body had chosen my colon to be the place to detox everything out. So that was the organ. So in some ways it made me quite grateful for that to happen, that there was a place rather than all of those toxins just being stored in my body. My body was actually clearing it all. So I had a lot of gratitude. It shifted my brain from being a victim to why is this happening to me, to, oh my gosh, thank you so much, body. Like you're doing amazing, and you're getting rid of all of those awful half dead cells so that it's making room to build new ones. So there's a few things I can't remember. I learned a million things I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's definitely changed the way I see healing, and how our bodies are meant to be perfect, and we actually put it into dis-ease, and it's up to us to change all of those little kind of lifestyle choices we're making, or work on all of those triggers and mental health things, and clear all of that stuff to put your body back into balance again. And everyone can do it. And it's whether you have anything, whether you have rheumatoid arthritis or cancer or whatever it is, it's just your body being out of balance. And so I learn a lot.
Yeah, and how did it change your view around diet as well?
Oh yeah, big time. Big time. So my diet, what am I now? So I mainly eat, I'm not as perfect as what I used to be. I've definitely dabbled with different little foods and stuff now. I eat mainly whole foods though, and I crave them now. Every so often, I'll have a cheat day, like I'll have something, or not cheat day, a cheat meal here and there, and I'm absolutely fine now, so it doesn't even affect me. But there are some things my body will just not have. My iron became quite low in the beginning, and I thought, oh, maybe it's my body needing a little bit of red meat just to help with that iron, because there's something wrong with the iron. So I had one tiny little piece of red meat about 6 months ago, and I'd had no symptoms for a long time. went to the bathroom and there was blood instantly. And so I was like, okay, never again am I doing that. Like red meat, never again. Things like alcohol, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just have a little tiny bit. And a couple of times I've tried that and I'll get the colon rumble, and I never get rumbles, and that rumble was my main symptom during the detox. So as soon as I do anything that my body's like, no, it tells me straight away. It's like, nope. So yeah, no more drinking for me. And but life is so much better. It all happened exactly how it's supposed to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I learned about how bad alcohol is for the body, I mean, I stopped. It's been almost 10 years now since I've touched it. So
well, you clean surfaces on it. It's something like of course it's just what I learned about the microbiome. It's wanting to build that flora up and make it really rich, and then we're obviously killing all of the little, I don't know, what are they, germs on the tables and things. We're going to be building up our microbiome and making it this rich populated place where finally everything is really healthy, and then you're drinking alcohol and you're just wiping it all out again. So it's absolutely
pointless. And so you went through quite a strong healing phase and detox, which obviously didn't feel good, and we talk about that in so many different videos and all our testimonials where yes, sometimes for a lot of people it does get worse before it gets better. And so as Pia said, 20 times a day at times, lots of blood, weight loss, symptoms that weren't really good, but then your body starts to change and shift, and you start to get to this point where you feel something changing and getting better. So talk about what that process feels like, and as you kind of learn that the body is healing and you start feeling grateful for that, how does that shift your whole perspective when you start to feel better?
Well, to be honest, it messed with my head quite a bit, to be honest. Because because you start you're just going down and down and down and getting worse and worse and worse, and suddenly you have this glimpse, and suddenly you go up and like, oh my God, I'm starting to get better, and then you go down again, and then you are down for a bit, and then you go up even higher than what you were before, and then you go down again, and you're like, no, like, will this ever get better? So it's it's a lot of patience, but of course as soon as that it was like I remember the time I'd just come back from Queensland and I was so sick over there, and then I got back in those few days I first had those first glimpses of getting better, and then from then on it was just up from there, but there was a lot of down and then going up, and that went on for probably about another 4 months of just ups and downs like it was quite full on. So another thing we teach our clients is the body heals in waves. So you're going to get waves of healing, and you've got to ride each of those waves, and as you come off that wave, your body gets into a healthier state and you feel even better at the end of that. But you have to go through these, and everything works in waves, doesn't it? Everything works in waves. But this is why I needed you here, because each time I'd get all overconfident, like, yes, I'm better now, and then I'd go down, and it was great having you there to kind of be like, oh no, like I feel like I've started from day one again, but I hadn't. It was just part of it. So and so in terms of we'll go into what your life is like now, but you also had some really valuable, Shamiz and I talk, and if you've been following our channel for a while, you'll know that as we've progressed in this journey, we've realized the importance of the mind and the healing experience, and you had some really profound mental shifts that helped a lot to kind of finish that process, wasn't it? It was like the physical aspect can get you quite far, and it'll really help a lot of different things, but healing is not just about the food. Yes, the food is super important, but you also have to look at hydration and sleep and exercise and mindset, and Pia's really taken mindset to a different level, which is why she's doing the work that you're doing, and I'm super impressed with what you've been able to achieve. But talk about that experience. Well, I remember you saying to me when I was getting better that when you found that when your clients weren't believing they were going to get better, it just took forever. But you'd notice that as soon as they would switch their mind, their headspace to I'm actually, this is going to happen, I'm 100% getting better, you'd notice them suddenly just, dramatically get better very quickly. And so I remember listening to that, and I've had a hypnotherapy background. So I started listening, creating my own hypnotherapy audios and listening to them to just train my subconscious to truly believe there's no doubt about it, you are getting better. And so I was listening to those every day. I was writing writing affirmations like I am healed, like I have a healthy colon, like I was doing all of that stuff. And when I started doing all of that stuff, like you'd said, it just suddenly my healing just like changed dramatically. Like everything started, I started just feeling so much better, so much quicker. And there were things like even this testimonial, I would fantasize. I'm like, one day I am going to be one of those people that are going to be telling everyone, like, if I can do it, you can do it. Because I watched a lot of those testimonials, but that was one of the things, like just visualizing and visualizing you being better, what you're going to do when you're better, who you're going to tell, like all of that is just so important. And so I've ended up, because those hypnotherapy sessions were just so amazing for me, I've actually created some more and put them on my website. So if anyone is interested in purchasing some of those, I just feel like hypnosis, it's not a coincidence that hypnosis also came into my life shortly before, a few years ago, before meeting you and doing all of that, because since then, my body, like everything's just taken off. Like I was in a job that I was quite miserable in before, and it felt again also very toxic, in a toxic relationship. Everything was just kind of dark, and then the first step had to be to heal my body. And so because I was a big party girl, I was always drinking every weekend, not eating the best foods, and so I was never going to change that. I loved that, to be honest. I didn't want to change it at the time. And so it had to take something big, the universe being like, no, had to take literally going to the toilet with a mass of blood for me to be like, okay, something's wrong here. So that was the first step on my journey to where I am now. And so, it was clearing the body. And then again, next was really starting to work on my mental health and heal my triggers, work on childhood wounds and things like that. So that was kind of the next step. And then, and that's where kind of energy healing came in. And now I'm, working with one of the princesses in the UAE, and we're creating healing retreats and all sorts of amazing dreams have come true ever since. Traveling the world. And I know it's all because of, that awful thing that happened that's led me to you, that's led me to where I am now.
It's just a step in the, it just shifts your energy. And we're huge believers in the law of attraction. And, like when you put your thoughts and your emotions, you really feel what you want. That's when the universe will make things happen for you. And, healing is part of that. Financial success is part of that. Relationships is part of that. Just relationship with yourself is so important as well. So all of that, and I think, what Pia's demonstrated here is the importance of getting the mind and the body all heading in the right direction. And I think the people that have the most success with healing their bodies focus on getting their physical aspects right, and then they delve into all the mental aspects of what's kind of blocking the final part of their healing.
Well, a big part is because of I feel like a reason a lot of us did develop ulcerative colitis, or what other illnesses you have developed, is it's just these emotional blockages that you've stored in your body from your life. And we're all humans. We've all gone through yucky things. We've gone through great things, but we've gone through horrible things too. And some of the things we have just held in there, and we'll get triggered by certain things from what happened to us when we were a little kid. But we don't really address it. And so I think that's when it just becomes so toxic in your body.
It's the thing that pushes you over the edge, the way I see it is that the way we live in society, we eat horrible diets, we don't get enough rest, as you say, parties and late nights and drinking and stationary, not moving a lot, and then the trigger, like what you had with your relationship, will just be that thing that when I talk about the threshold for toxicity, it just pushes you, and boom, that just makes you go, and the body now starts into its healing phase, and that's what we manifest as disease. And so for so many people, that emotional thing is the thing that pushes them over the edge into the disease state. And now we're always holding it in there probably, but then an event happens, and then boom, it's just body can't take it anymore. Improper diet and lifestyle is the main reason. You've got to fix the diet, but you also have to fix those other things, because if you don't do that, it's gonna be tricky. It takes longer. It does take longer. If you only focus on diet, it takes longer. You can still kind of achieve it to a certain extent, but you have to go inward and really find out, as you did, what's been going on. So you kind of touched a little bit on what your life is like now. And how you feel physically and mentally. And so I love to hear the stories around what you've been doing after you finish the program, because when we're working together, we're speaking very regularly. Once you finish the program and you get on with your life, you don't need to talk to me as often anymore. But it's really cool to see how people have progressed and what they're doing and how they're feeling. Since I left, since I finished working with you. How long ago was that? Just remind me. It was probably about last August last year. So that's a year ago. So you've been healed for a year. And so I finished last August, and then lockdown in Melbourne was awful. So as soon as Melbourne opened up, I headed to Thailand, and I ended up at this island that was just full of, it's a crystal island, so the whole island is full of crystals, which I didn't know at the time. But when I got to this island, I just somehow, again, law of attraction, once everything shifts in your body and you start, I guess, vibrating a bit of a higher frequency, everything becomes kind of harmonized, and you start really attracting wonderful people into your life. So I met a few beautiful friends there, and we started again working with the royal family in the UAE to create programs like doing this type of work in jails over there, so that when they leave, they can really change their lives as well. So teaching about healing your triggers, teaching about how to eat, what lifestyle changes you need to change to really put yourself into balance again. So that all came from wonderful Thailand, and just everything then, it's just kind of keeps unfolding and keeps getting bigger and bigger. I'm really following, I guess, my soul purpose now. I think I was a little bit off track before, and the disease was a bit of a wake-up call to shake me back again, to get back on track of what I'm actually supposed to be doing in my life. And I think for all of you listening, this is what it might not feel like it at the moment, but what's happening to you is a blessing, and it's happened for a reason. And it's just your body telling you that you have put there's too much out of balance, and you need to make some changes, and you're being forced now to make the changes, because before you didn't want to, probably, like myself, because it's too hard. Like all of us. We're happy in our comfort zones. But just know that if you really stick to this, and you really work on your belief system and your mental health with this, as well as the lifestyle changes, know that in a year's time, you're going to be looking back at this thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that this happened. And I hear so many testimonials like this of people being quite grateful with where this path has led them. So it will be you too. Absolutely. You can do it. Yes, you can. That's what we're here to share. And this is why we do this with people like Pia, because we want to show you. You can do it. We want to show you that's possible, because you just don't hear it from anywhere else. Physically. Okay, so that's, from a soul perspective, from a mental perspective, it blows my mind how far you've come. Considering the person I met to where you are now, it's just unbelievable. Little frail, sad person in lockdown. So physically, how's the body? You put the weight back on. What other things changed in your body as you started to get better?
I just feel, I feel wonderful. Like, again, and some of you might not be very open to this, but I'm very susceptible to energy now. So when I do energy healings with people, I'm able to actually put people in quite a psychedelic experience now, where they actually get a lot of guides come through and loved ones that have passed over come through, and give them messages or send them on their way. And I'm just sitting here facilitating. But someone told me before I went on this, I'd be doing energy work. I'd be like, what? Like, why? I don't believe it. And now suddenly a lot of magical things have started happening, and and I can channel messages, and a few of the messages that have come through to me is because my body now is so crystalline, that I am able to do this type of work now, which is really fun and really exciting, especially what all of my clients seem to experience, and the healing that they get from it is really cool. So I've kind of turned into a healer, which is great.
Like what we did, is we experience something and then we can pass it on, and we pass the knowledge on to people, and they can get better. And now, the best thing for us is that people that heals, they start spreading the messages themselves. And there's so many people that have healed and taken it on social media or whatever it is that they want to do to pass on that message. And it just shows people that you can do it, and you can heal. And in terms of because a couple of things that a lot of people ask me about, especially when they start the program or interested in starting the program, I'm really underweight. How am I going to put the weight back on? And things like hair loss and all those things that happen. How did you find that those things changed? Like, did you have to do anything special to put the weight back on, or did it just come on?
No, I just it just naturally came back again. I just feel like there's not much more to say. I don't think I did anything. No, I didn't even really see. I feel the same as what I was back then. Like, I feel like I don't look any different, but I know a few people. Like, even I was working with a lady recently that has no filter, and she's like, you used to look quite anorexic, but you look less anorexic now. I'm like, oh, thank you. That's the ultimate compliment. Like, but I didn't even realise I really looked that way.
You were, when I first met you, you were really thin.
I was tiny.
You looked like a stick figure.
But it will naturally come back. Just be patient.
Yeah, so people who are doing the program and you're thin, or you're thinking of, you're going through a healing program or doing it by yourself, whatever it is, and you're wondering how you're going to put the weight back on, you're thinking, oh, do I need to eat this or that? You don't need to do anything different. When the body is ready to put the weight back on, it does it almost effortlessly. And you don't have to think, you don't have to change, you don't have to eat extra, you don't have to do anything like that. It just happens.
If you think I was eating extra when I was losing all the weight, I was getting in I was eating like 20 bananas, I was eating 10 potatoes every night, and I was counting my calories, and I was getting thousands, it was just way more, double the amount I feel like a normal person should eat, and I was still getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So once I just stopped caring, was when my body just naturally started going back again to where it was supposed to go. So the less you think about it or focus on it, I think the more it will just come back.
Yep, we have this tendency to overthink things, don't we? Just have to just be with the flow of the way it's supposed to happen, and just you focus on what you can do, and leave the rest of it to the body, because it knows what it's doing. All right, so to end the session, I always get all of our clients who've healed to give some advice. So,
oh gosh,
there's lots of people watching this.
I haven't watched a testimonial in ages. I forgot about the advice.
It'll come to you.
Okay.
It'll come to you. So, in terms of, say this is you a couple of years ago sitting there watching this, or anybody else who's, considering changing their diet and lifestyle to actually focus on healing rather than disease management. What would you say, what kind of tips would you give them that they should be looking to focus on from your own experience?
Just trust. I think that's all I've got. You just got to trust the process. I became very much a control freak throughout all of this, and my head was so over fanatical, and then I was analysing my head, being like, I need to stop being like this. It's okay if you're being control be a control freak. If you're not and being cruisy, just be cruisy. Just all you need to do is just trust, and it will happen for you. And just believe. I think that's my biggest one as well. As soon as you believe in yourself, and you know, like, there's no doubt about it that you're going to be sitting here soon doing a testimonial, and you've got no doubt about that happening, just keep that, because it will. It's law of attraction. You believe it, it will happen. Continue writing those affirmations, continue believing, and just doing the work, making it about your lifestyle, and
No, great advice. Absolutely. Yeah, self-belief is, one of the, it's half of the battle in a way, is just believing that you can do it, because a lot of the time you get told by so many different professionals and people that you've got this for the rest of your life, you're going to be on medications, diet has nothing to do with it, body's attacking itself. None of those things are true. And so when you believe in yourself and really dig down, and Shamiz always says, persistence will get you there, being persistent will get you there, and being consistent will keep you there. So actually,
one more thing that you really helped me with is when you said to me that everyone that you've worked with that's done this properly has done it. So like, just have that confidence that if you do this properly, you absolutely will get there. So because everyone else has. So
yeah, absolutely. So all right. So that's, I hope you, is there anything else you want to share?
If you are looking to work on any energy blockages, or if you're finding that there are things like inner child work, triggers, anything that you're not able to shift, or in your mind that you're doing this, but they're still in your mind, you feel like you're not actually believing it's going to happen, shoot me a message or have a look at my website. It's www.pmahealing.com, and can give you some advice or some help if you need.
Absolutely, go and do that. That'll be a good thing to do, definitely. Thank you everyone for joining us here today, and it's really cool to do one in person actually, because so often I'm on the other side of the computer, or someone's on the other side of the world, so it's nice to have someone in Melbourne to come over and share the experience in person. But so for whoever, if you're watching this on YouTube or you are listening to this on the podcast, please share this. We need to show people that this is possible, that people can heal themselves, and that we don't need to be in a disease state and rely on medications for the rest of our lives. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these testimonials. We've got more coming, and we've got lots of people healing on their journey. So stay tuned for more videos like this, and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification icon to get updates on all our recent uploads. If you enjoyed Pia's story, give her a like. The more likes we get, the more this message spreads around. And if you have any questions, there's a comment section down below, and we'll be checking and giving you as much information as we can to help you on your journey. And Pia might even drop in there if she has any questions. I'll let her know if there's any specific questions for her that you have. Apart from that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you eat plants and lots of them. Take care.
Bye.